Good afternoon, welcome to Leicester's Hydro-Scanned Arena, press and practice ahead of the new Rowe Royal Premiership season, which gets underway in the Knockout Cup next week. And of course we're here on Saturday for Ryan Douglas's testimonial meeting, 4 o'clock start. We're here with the Watling JCB Lions for 2025, plenty of familiar faces from last season once again. Welcome back to Kyle Howarth, former captain of the club in the Championship a few years ago. And a warm welcome back also to Drew Kemp. Stepping in after we had some news last night that perhaps wasn't being expected, but Drew, good to see you back with the club. Let's join Stuart Dixon, first of all, the Lions team manager. Stuart, as I say, winter preparations, you got the team done pretty early on, riders coming back from last season, and then obviously there was an incident in the last few days. Can you just talk us through what's happened and why we have the current situation?
Yep, you're right. I moved quite early. I got the team back last season. I think it was only one change initially. The idea of that was basically we were at 42 points something and we had to get back down to 40. So I thought Kyle Howarth was very good value on what we get him on in a 505. He, as you touched on, he's raced here before. He's been the captain. It rides a little bit different, I think, to the Championship days, but I'm pretty sure once a home rider gets dialed in here, he'll be fine. Obviously, yep, I had spoke to Craig Cook's dad last night, sort of thing, and he just explained that he wasn't in a position to be racing at this moment in time. We didn't go into too much detail, knowing what social media can be like, sort of thing. So I think we left it at that, and basically I moved very quickly. Spoke to Drew Kemp, and Drew, you know, after you said to me, could I tell me to F off because I dropped him last season, he was a true professional, and came back, and he's here today, which shows you how keen he is, and there's a chance for him, and he's got to grab it with both hands. I worked with him at Berwick last season. He was the fastest rider around the Shieldfield track all last season. You think of the riders that raced there, Chris Harris, Sam Masters, Craig Cook, a lot of good riders. Drew Kemp was the fastest rider at round Berwick last season, so he can do it. He just needs to do it in the top league, and fingers crossed he can.
Okay, we'll get Drew's thoughts on that shortly as we go down the riders. We've also got some questions from the fans to give out as well. Stuart, you teased over the winter riding order. Obviously, there's one significant change in terms of top 5 this year with Richard Lawson departing for Kings Lynn, Carroll coming in. But I believe you've changed things around a bit in terms of the top 5 riding order.
Yeah, certainly for the Knockout Cup matches. I just want to give something to try. Max Frick also will be at number 1. Luke Becker will be at number 2 to partner him. I want to see how they get on together. Dougie will go to number 3 this year as the 3rd highest average rider on the team. That's how I done it last year. And Sam will be at 5 and Kyle will be at 4. Sam's obviously higher than Dougie this season, whereas last season Dougie was higher, so he took the number 5 position. Just come down to that, but it's no set in stone. Obviously Drew will be at 6 and Sam will be at 7. We had a wee joke with Sam saying that, you know, if he wins Heat 2 this year, I'll definitely keep him in Heat 4 instead of taking him out and get him the outside gate in his latter races. But no, that's what we'll start against Birmingham. Most probably the same next Thursday, a week tonight. But it doesn't mean it's set in stone. If the guys are not happy with their parents, sort of thing, you know, they can come to me. It doesn't say that I'm going to change it, but I do listen to them because, you know, they're the guys that's riding the bike ultimately. But for me, I think there's a good balance with the team that I put together with the numbers on their backs. Okay, and overall thoughts heading into the season. As I said, it's a familiar team. Everyone that's here you've worked with before. Are you confident they can hit the ground running at the start of the season and hopefully have a better start than last year when it was quite mixed? I think it's no surprise that we came into some form because I knew the team was good enough and I put it together. Yes, we started very, very slowly, but when we hit the purple patch, we were really good. It was just unfortunate that we met Bellevue and they were probably going through the purple patch that we went through in July and August. It wasn't a fluke that we managed to win all those matches away from home. You know, I think we were riding to our ability. That's why I brought as many back as possible because I believe in them. I think Sam Masters touched on it. This will be their 2nd season back here. You know, they came for a new club and new track last year. I think we need to remember that, you know what I mean? I think, you know, consistency is the key. I think we need a bit more consistency. The riders will know the ones I'm talking about. I don't need to mention their names. But they know how I work now. I know how they work. And I think I've been maybe a wee bit more standoffish the second half of the season rather than maybe being that hard for them. It doesn't always work all the time. Sometimes, remember, me and Sam Masters had a wee difference of opinion at Ipswich, and I now know Sam likes to ride his bike and enjoy it, and he rides better, whereas I like to, well, just put pressure constantly on the riders. And maybe it's not always the case. It doesn't always work, but we figured these things out, and I think we'll see the benefits of that in the second year, going forward, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, we look forward to it. Thank you, Stuart. If you just pass the mic down to, let's go in order. So, Sam, welcome back. Had a taste for it last year, sort of 2/3 of the season. Started well, had, you said yourself, a bit of a dip. Finished off really strong in the final. What are your thoughts heading into the new season?
Yeah, refresh. I think it's good to sort of be back with the same club, same team manager in both leagues. So that's good in perspective. So no, glad to be back, and should be a good year.
Yeah, and take the learning from last season. You've been to all the Premiership tracks. You know how this track is set up. Do you sort of target Heat 2 to start off with, and then hopefully kick you off for the night?
Well, if I don't shoot it, I'll be out of Heat 4. So no, obviously Gate 4 is quite hard to come off in the first few heats, but or Gate 3 or 4 even. But no, it's a good thing to do, and I've got to say, my aim is to win Heat 2, and see what I can do for the rest of the night.
Good stuff. Good to have you back. We pass you on down to Dougie, and I suppose, well, first of all, plug for the weekend. 2 days away now. Testimonial. Everything all set up for that, or everything in place?
Yeah, no, it's all ready now, and the weather's looking nice today, so hopefully you can stay pretty nice for the weekend and get a good turnout. So no, super excited for that, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
Second season back here now in the Premiership. Strong season last year for you. Some good scores home and away. Is it just a case of more of the same and hopefully kick on even further?
Yeah, I think I had a good season. I was happy with how it went, and started getting some decent scores around here again. So yeah, I'm just looking to do more of the same and hopefully improve and add another point or so on.
Good stuff. Good to see you back, Dougie. Let's move on to Mr. Sam Masters again. Second season with the club, and like Stuart said, involved in lots of drama and big races last year. How are your thoughts this season, Sam? You feeling good?
Yeah, it's approach it like we finished, really. We had a new team last year at the start of the year, and like Stuart said, it took a bit to find our feet on our home track and work out each other on and off the track. So, we all know what we've got to do and what it's about with the similar team to last year, and go and have fun. And when we hit that purple patch, we're all having fun, and we were probably the most dangerous team in the league at the time. So get back to that, and it'll be great.
Yeah, home form's all important. You got on a real roll last year of big scores at home, and I guess that then transmits itself to away matches, and winning breeds winning.
That's it, mate. Yeah, you said it. If you're beating guys at home and then you go to their away track, you think you can have their measure. So home form is important. And that's probably why we did struggle at the start of last year. We didn't really know what we're doing around here, and once we found our feet, it was good.
Thanks, Sam. Good to see you back. Let's move on to the captain of the Lions, Max Frick, and congratulations for off-field matters, Max, over the winter. I'm sure you've had a really good, busy time, but on track, a bit of a problem in the Australian Championship. Picked him a knock in that event. Is everything good from that now? Are you all good to go?
Yeah, everything's good. Nice off season. It was good to go home for a little bit and have a bit of a break. Unfortunately, we did pick up a little bit of a knock, but everything's working fine now. So ready to go out there and ride our bikes and have some fun.
Yeah, all set for a busy year, I guess, all over Europe and Grand Prix as well. Your third year here now. You've really got the hang of this place. You're one of the top average riders in the Premiership. Confident that you should have a good campaign again?
Yeah, that's the plan. It's good to be back here. I've enjoyed being here the last 2 years, and I'm sure this year will be the same. So we've got a great team. So I think there's no reason why we can't go out there and put on some good displays.
Lovely, good luck. We hope it has a good season for you again. Moving on to Luke Becker, once again back for a second season with the club. And Luke, it was sort of mixed fortunes for you because it took a while to get going. When you did, it was absolutely spectacular. So is everything set up for a good start for this year?
Yeah, on a personal note, it definitely took a bit for me to find my feet and get comfortable. But once I did, then I was able to pick things up and go from there. So if I can start with that, I'll be happy. But all in all, just to come back to this club, I really enjoy being a part of it and riding for this team. And it's a good group of guys. And riding under Stuart now, I'm a little bit better with understanding his language now, so that's great. But it's great to be back.
Is it really comfortable coming back into a team where almost everyone was here last year, so there's none of this on press day, no meeting anybody, you just all click straight back in?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, a lot of us get on pretty good off the track too, so that makes things great, and that's one of the beauties of riding in British Speedway.
Good stuff, thank you, Luke. Good to see you back again. Kyle Howarth back with the Lions after a couple of years, obviously so long with Sheffield at the top level, but you were here and did well in the Championship. It's a club that I know you know well, and a track you go well on too. So when you were going to leave Sheffield, this was clearly the right place to come.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, when the phone rang and I spoke to Stu, it was just straight away that was the club, and it was a club I wanted to come back to. I always said my time wasn't done at the club. I knew I had something left there. So, yeah, it's a new challenge for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Average of just over 5, which to me is something you can stick up quite substantially. You could be quite a key man in that middle order.
Yeah, for sure. Last year was a very inconsistent year, and I really struggled with that, and it's just a tough year with stuff going on. So this year it's nice, everything's settled, and I know what I can do, and I know I can definitely get that average up and get my scores home and away consistent. So that's one of my aims, and yeah, for sure I'm better than that average, a lot better.
Excellent, good to have you back, Carl, this year. And on we go to Drew Kemp, who we had a phone call about, actually this morning to confirm it. Must have been a whirlwind day or so, Drew, but good to see you here, and looking forward to it. And just tell us through the timeline of what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever had a call up to a team that late, but it's a shame about Craig. Obviously, everyone was expecting him to, obviously start the season, but it's an opportunity that I've got to take with both hands, and I'm willing to do that. And I love the track, I love the club, and obviously last year I struggled at the end of the year in the last meeting of the year, but it's definitely unfinished business that I have here, and I feel like I'm yet to really prove myself around here. So Stuart touched on it earlier. I really found my feet in the championship last year, which is something I haven't done before. So yeah, if I can do that this year in the top league and start to kick on, then I'll be happy.
I think a lot of people thought you were a bit unlucky last year. I know Speedway's a numbers game and managers make decisions and so on, but every time the team changes, sort of talking point amongst fans. But I think, like you say, it's unfinished business because you've got one way to go, and that's forward. And certainly what you did at Berwick last year proves you can do it.
Yeah, last year is what it is. It's done now. There's no point dwelling on it and getting bitter about it. I was disappointed and a bit upset about the decision, but how I started going after that, I felt like I did prove Stuart wrong a little bit. So now I want to prove to not just to Stuart, but to everybody that I am the right choice, and yeah, I can do it. So I know I can. I believe in my own ability, and this year I've really simplified everything. Back on engines, I know what works, and bikes, I know that works. So now it's just down to me. So no excuse.
Lovely. Well, I think a lot of Leicester fans will have a lot of respect for you for stepping in like you have at short notice. So well done for that. Let's move on to the supporters' questions. So if you can drop the mic back down this end, that'll be good, because the first one is actually to the two Sams, Sam Masters and Sam Hagan, and this is from Lynn Fairbrother. So thanks to Lynn for whatever you're Facebooking in or Xing in or whatever the expression is. To Sam Masters and Sam Hagan, with one being older and one younger, how are your thoughts when you come back from crashes? I.e., little Sam, do you not worry as much as big Sam?
I reckon I don't worry as much as little Sam.
I don't ever see you crash too much, Sam, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's why I don't worry about it.
I don't know. Probably do worry more, I guess. Like you say, last year I had a couple of pretty big crashes, so that didn't help. But I feel like I kind of got used to that. There's part of it where before, sort of, I guess, I worried a little bit more. So.
And this is one really for everyone that's also from Lynn on a similar topic to any rider really. If you have a serious crash, and we won't talk about crashing all day, when you've had a serious crash and been hurt, when you start to ride again, do you get nervous, especially when you go back to the track where you've crashed on? Is that ever a factor? If anyone would like to, anyone's had an incident that
I think it depends. Like I had a freak accident at Mildenor a few years ago. That's why I got a scar over my eye. So, but that didn't really affect me going back. Same as Berwick, I chipped my tooth there and I'm riding for him. So, I guess it can in some people's heads, but to me it doesn't really matter. Like Doyley's one, he had a massive crash there and rode straight back there on Sunday and won it. So, it depends on some riders.
Anybody else got any reflections on crashes, or shall we move on? Well, I think we'll move on. The next one is also for Sam Hagan, from Dom Freeman. How big is the gap between the Championship and the Premiership, and what are the differences?
It's just more, especially the last few years, you got, like you say, Emil, Max, you got Doyley. Obviously, the Championship, there's none of that, so that's quite a big gap. But the reserve-wise, I would say it's pretty similar to Championship, either second strings or reserves in some cases. So, but it's a pretty big step up to that part. Like you say, Heat 2 in 8, I believe, is sort of similar-ish, but yeah, the rest are not. Like I say, Heat 4, I'm against number 5, so I think anyway. So, like I say, when I went to Sheffield last year, it was Buffy, so like I say, it's a pretty big jump in that part.
We should also say well done for winning the karting today. You were on top of the podium.
It did have some help from sending Dougie back into the pits, but yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Well done for that. We'll go down the line on this one. This is from Amy Thorpe. What's your day routine for the day of a meeting in terms of pre-meeting food or any superstitions? How do you prepare for a meeting?
For myself, pretty laid back really. I wouldn't say I've got a ritual to go through. Just get up and try to have some good breakfast and get a bit of food in the stomach and drink plenty of water, and after that just relax really until it's time to go.
Normally in the season I'm just heaps tired, so just trying to stay awake because it's the biggest battle. But normally for your home meeting you have like maybe not a routine but something you might do that day because you know what time you got to leave and everything. But away meetings it's all different, so nothing special.
Okay, on to Max.
I think for me, it changes every day. We're racing somewhere different, a different country, so it's hard to keep the same routine all the time. But generally get up, work out where we're flying to for the next day, get in, try and have a nice relaxed day, get to the track and, get back to business again. So once we get into that routine of day after day after day, I feel like when you do get quite tired, I just kind of go through the motions, it just... Things happen like clockwork, and I feel like you don't even notice half the time, the day go by.
Okay, on to Luke.
Yeah, like you said, everything changes so much during the year. It's we're here, there, and everywhere. So if I have time, I'd like to get up at a decent time, have a good breakfast, maybe go for a little run, not too long of one, but something to get the blood flowing, and then have a good lunch and then head off to the track. So nothing too crazy, but it's kind of hard to follow it every time.
Okay, pass on to Connor.
Don't have any routine, nothing. Just get up, go with the flow, coffee, maybe crack a beer open. Just go with the flow and just go with it.
Whatever worked the week before, I think. If I've had a good meeting the week before, then I'll try and replicate it. If I had a bad one, then it'll be different. So I try and come away from those superstitions, but I often always fall back on them. So, yeah, if something works for the first meeting, I'll keep it going until it doesn't work anymore.
Fair comment. We'll start with Drew then for this one, which comes from Joyce Allen. This is looking further ahead, quite a few years ahead actually. When you hang up your Kevlars, would you like to go into speedway management? And if so, where?
Absolutely not.
Oh, good answer.
No, I feel like, maybe it would be a good thing, but I don't know if I could deal with spear riders, to be honest. As being a spear rider myself, obviously I know we're a very awkward lot, and yeah, I just think everyone would annoy me. So I think obviously I'd still want to be involved with speedway in some way, or definitely watch it. And I don't think I'll ever fully retire from speedway. I'll always want to ride it, but yeah, I'm not sure I'd really want to run a team. So fair play to Stuart and anybody else willing to do that.
Kyle, would you be a manager?
Probably not. Not sure really what I'd do, but probably, I don't look too far in the future, but maybe not.
Go on, Luke.
That's a hard one. I'm still young, but I probably wouldn't want to be a manager, to be honest. I'd definitely like to be involved in the sport and do some other stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, not to the manager effect.
Okay. Team manager Max Frick.
I don't know. I don't think it has a very good ring. But yeah, I think I'd like to be involved in speedway some way or another. But management, maybe not so much. I don't know if I'm good enough with numbers for that. But to be involved in the sport, would be a dream after the dream, right? So to be a part of it some way or another, and maybe give back a little bit to what it's given me, that'd be great.
Okay, Sam, can I see you?
I'd like to be one of them old guys that tell everyone what I did right and forget about all the bad stuff. But no, I'd always like to be involved in it. Manager, don't think I'm hard enough to sack someone, honestly. And or tell someone they're not doing real good. But yeah, I'd like to be involved somehow. I don't know what it would be, but I love the sport, I love riding, and yeah, I'm not thinking about quitting just yet, so I'll worry about that one later.
Fair comment. Dougie, we see you in charge somewhere?
Well, yeah, I plan to go back to Aussie when I'm finished, so it might be a bit far for a home meeting, but nah, probably not in the team manager role. 20p a mile, yeah. I might have to win the lotto if I take that job up. But I think involved for sure. If there's something around the area where I end up retiring in from Speedway, I would definitely like to be involved in some sort of way.
Okay. Sam, long way to go, of course, but...
Pretty much where everyone else has said, I would love to be involved, but I definitely want to be a team manager. It's that is a very big job, and like what Sam said, like I probably wouldn't sack someone or tell them they're not good enough. But probably just be involved in the sport would be the best option. Like my granddad and dad did, sort of still within the sport. So yeah, that'd be what I want to do.
Cool. Stuart, which of these would be a budding team manager in your opinion?
I think Sam Masters could be a good team manager. You know what I mean? He might do it for a different perspective the way I do it. It might be that more casual sort of way, and sometimes you can get better. It can be better to get out the riders. I know he can be serious when he needs to be. Heat 15 when it counts. So maybe there could be a team manager in him. Dougie, too soft. Max wants to be liked by everybody, so it's not possible. Kyle, just a simple no. Drew, never in a month of Sundays. Sam, probably not. No, definitely not. Luke, he's too small. Nobody's going to listen to him, to be honest. Let's be honest with you. No, I mean, that's my honest opinion. You know what I mean?
Thanks for sorting your own, Stuart, and welcome back, and have a good season, everyone. Few individual ones quickly. Going to Dougie first. From Sarah Lee, simple one. Which is your favourite track and why?
I got asked this a bit lately, and I actually don't know what my favourite track would be. But I think definitely somewhere in Poland. I enjoy these big fast tracks, and they're all well prepared. So there's not many tracks I go to over there where I don't enjoy riding.
Okay, Sam is the next one. Sam Masters. Yeah, from Upright Speedway. Upright or lay down?
Upright, 100%. Yeah, I think it'd actually make the sport better again, especially how the technology is. The old uprights with a bit more technology would make the racing a lot better. Wouldn't be as fast, the racing would be closer, and it'd be easier on us as well.
Okay, good stuff. We've got one for Luke, which is from Wayne Marr. What attracted you to Speedway over other types of motorcycle racing, and would you ever try give AFT, which I guess is American Flat Track, would you ever try that?
I mean, the first time I got on a speedway bike, that was kind of that was the icing on the cake right there. I've followed the sport for a few years before I actually rode a bike, but once I got on one, I knew that's what I wanted to do. But as far as flat track, I've never actually rode real flat track bike before, or even attempted that. But something on the bucket list for sure.
Okay, we've got one more that's to go down the line. So if you go down to Drew, and then we'll bring you across. So the last one is from Tina Douglas, and she says, apart from winning, what's the best thing about being a professional speedway rider?
I don't know, really. Just the feeling of it, I guess. You can't get an experience or an adrenaline rush like riding a motorbike. So it's difficult, because losing's not very fun to do. So winning's definitely the best part of it. But just the feeling of riding a bike and going as quick as you can. It's quite simply that, really.
Okay, Kyle, best thing about being a professional speed rider?
Just winning. It's a nice feeling winning, and at the end of the year, winning titles and league titles and stuff like that. It's a nice, a nice achievement working all year and lifting that trophy and adding it to your CV and looking back. So yeah, definitely winning.
Okay, Luke, best thing about it?
I guess if there's something that you don't think that you could do, or say someone that you wouldn't see yourself beating and you go out and beat them, that's something. It's a really good feeling, but I guess that's the same as winning, right?
Okay, on to Max.
I love riding the bike. I like riding the bike. I think going fast on the straights and tipping in, to a corner without any brakes at speed. I think that's pretty, a great feeling. One of the best feelings on a speedway bike for me.
Okay, on Sam.
Like Max said, love riding the bike and turning hard is a mad feeling. But to do it for your job is unreal. But I think the lifestyle is cool. I can and my family's involved in it, traveling around the world, meeting different people, and lived in a lot of different places through Europe really. So pretty cool that.
Okay, Dougie.
Yeah, for me, I think it's the lifestyle and hanging out with good mates and riding your bike and traveling the world. So yeah, it's a pretty cool job, and get to experience a lot.
Okay, and Sam.
Well, Sam and Dougie said, like you say, they travel a lot of places. Obviously, I was quite fortunate. I did Australia last 2 years in a row, so if I didn't do Speedway, I probably would never have done that. So that was pretty remarkable in some ways. I learned so much there, and but no, if it wasn't that, it was riding the bike, and the lifestyle bit is very unique and enjoyable if everything's going right.
Okay, and Stuart, what's the best thing about being a Speedway team manager?
Sometimes long lies, to be honest with you, in the winter especially, watching people out scraping ice after cars and all that, and I just go, I'm up for a pee and then straight back to my bed for another couple of hours. I do enjoy that side of it, when it comes around the season time, it's pretty hectic for me. Obviously, I'm Berwick team manager, but at Leicester, it's co-promoter, team manager and track creator. I've said it before, track creator is the hardest job in Speedway for me. You're the first guy here and you're the last guy away. Whereas team manager, I'm not being blasé, I don't find it as difficult as a track creator. I've had the track wrong more times than I've made wrong decisions with Speedway. Sometimes you put just a wee bit too much water on, and when you've done it, you can't change it again. So I still think I'm still learning stuff with track, and track stuff's the hardest. But when the riders come in and they enjoy it and they give you a good response and you win, there's a good feeling when they tell you how well you've done your job, because I take pride in what I do, just the way they guys ride their bikes. So I always try and provide them a nice, safe track, and to get compliments on it is always good. When we lose at home, not very often, there'll always be a problem with the track. I guarantee you that. They will find a problem with the track, you know what I mean? But that's the way life is, sort of thing, But when you win, and when you win away from home, the drive back to your hotel or something like that is good. I really enjoy that side of it. I love to win, I've got to be honest. And with the guys I've got here to my left, I think we've got a good chance of winning a lot of meetings this year.
Yeah. Final thoughts. You're smiling, everyone's smiling, which I guess is the thing at the start of the season. But there's a good feel here. You're coming off the back of a really strong season last year, so I guess you can't wait to get going.
It's relaxing, it's natural, it's not put on, there's nothing forced, it's just quite casual. We have a laugh and a joke on the team, on the track walk with the team, and then there'll be a wee serious chat maybe for a couple of minutes, and we'll have a bit of laughter in it, sort of thing, to try and get the balance right. But I don't need to tell them, they're all experienced riders, they know what they're doing. I admire anybody that puts their leg over a Speedway bike, so they've got my full admiration. But I do want to win, and I believe the guys I've got sitting to my left, listen to what they've said. They want to win as well. They want to have a good time. They want to, meet up with their mates, do racing. But at the same time, it's always a lot more rewarding if you've got a win at the end of it. And that'll be the task that we're faced with this year. But I think we'll have a lot of enjoyment along the way. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Wish you the very best of luck for that. Thank you, Stuart. And thank you to all the fans for their questions. A reminder, we're here on Saturday from 4 o'clock for Dougie's testimonial meeting, and next Thursday, second leg of the KO Cup against Birmingham, travelling to Birmingham, of course, on Monday night. Wish everyone well for the new season. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Cheers now.